Dan Roberson, Ripley. I'm sure I've asked this before. MS is Missouri, isn't it? Oh no, that's
MS,
MO, isn't it? Mississippi is MS. Which one's MS?
yes. Mississippi,
Okay.
yes.
So it says James and Dutch, who in your opinion did the worst interviews? Dutch and Lawler were tremendous because they came across as real, plus they never acted nervous in front of the camera. I also enjoyed Wayne Ferris. I thought Tracy Smothers was awful because he stammered a lot and acted nervous. Another bad one was Sid Vicious. He was on Raw, I think, one night and screwed up so badly he says Raw as well. It was on a pre-pay-per-view. And he says Gene Oakland, but he means Jim Ross. On live TV, if he could do it over. And Jim said, no, we are live. Also, Jeff Jarrett in his younger days seemed to stammer a lot. Your thoughts on it? So who were some of the worst interviews you remember?
Well, we said it on the show this week, Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton couldn't do an interview. And I remember one time as a joke, they gave him a 3-minute interview, but it was like not a live interview and this where they were going to talk to him. Oh my God. When he was into it a minute, you're saying, oh, please, come on. And it was, oh, this, that, and the other. And I guess they used it. I don't know. But Ricky Morton, when he started, wasn't the best interview.
Really?
Oh, he got a lot better. But when hey, my first interview was embarrassing as hell because I wasn't playing a character. I was just playing a wrestler, I guess. And I was trying to say, well, when I get you in the ring, in Augusta at 8 o'clock, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I was embarrassed myself before I even finished it. I hope they didn't use it. But yeah, a lot of guys, it's just nerves. And if you're going to do anything, if you're going to be a wrestler, you practice wrestling. But nobody tells you to practice, interviews. You don't know what you're doing there. You don't know what you're doing until after it's gone by and you made a bad impression. So, and that's what I used to use. Say if I was driving alone, I did my greatest interviews when I was alone around 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning. My greatest, and I wish I'd have been able to tape them. I wish that I had the cameras then, so I could have taped my own interview. But a lot of them, and Sid wasn't very good, and
Sid is very hit and miss. He's done some great interviews, and he's done some all-time stinkers.
Yeah, he did one. It says smarter than a lackle.
He said, "I have half the brains that you do." But here's the thing, right? He screwed up the line and everything. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if it was like a week after or a week before or something like that. He did a great interview, and the week before that, he did a great interview. It's just that he just really ruined that one. And then with the one, "Can I start over?" That's a classic.
That is a classic.
But I remember one, and this is a real deep cut, this one, where he's in an arena, and it's San Antonio. It was for the 97 Royal Rumble, so it's just after you'd left the WWF. And it was great, and it was like a minute and a half long, and he's straight into the camera, super intense, and it's like, Sid doesn't get enough appreciation for the good interviews he did. He gets a lot of appreciation or whatever it is for the terrible ones he did. But I've got a couple more follow-up questions, actually. Who did you study, if you studied anyone, to get better at interviews? Who were your sort of muses in that sense?
Well, they used to have 2 guys that were called the Assassins. Both of them always did classic interviews because they were masked guys, but they talked in such a way that they came across as very smart, intelligent people. And they never raised their voice. And I think the lower tone put a dark side to them. And that team was over. They knew what to do and how to do it. And they drew a lot of money in a lot of places. But their interviews, I would listen to them. Because you can take anybody, he's screaming and hollering, and you can try it too. But if it doesn't fit your character, it's not going to work. But Tom Ernesto and Jody Hamilton, Assassin 2, they did some great interviews. So if you can find them anywhere, just go back and find them on YouTube, the Assassins interviews, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Have we got anyone else in the terrible interview category we should bring up? Because we had Bobby, Sid occasionally, you said on your first one.
George Goulas.
George Goulas, well, I mean,
George Goulas, my God. But he is so bad, he's actually good. I mean, I guess he's gone around the earth and he met himself on the other side. And he talked with a little bit of a lisp too, which made him, I don't know what you would think, but you'd have to think he's just somewhat of an idiot, which is pretty close to the truth.
Well, you do realise with George Goulas, the only reason people thought he was a bad wrestler was because he was the son of Nick Goulas.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't actually because he was the absolute rollicking shit. Let's move on.
Wait a minute, the rollicking
shit. It's awful. I've seen enough video of him.
I've never heard the rollicking shits. I've got to start using that now.
There you go, everybody. You can have that one for free, Dutch. You can go on the road with that one.
I'm going to use it. I really am.